it's just
It's our
therapy.
outlet.
Therapeutic.
Yeah.
That's what I was
So
gonna say,
therapeutic, man.
And how do you do that through production? Like, how do you get in touch with those emotions through production?
It's a good question. It's kind of less and less about creating endless instrumentals. I used to just like sit down and that was my entire voice. My entire voice was just sitting down and just like I would crank out 3-4 instrumentals a day that were like cool and like had cool beats and everything like that. And there's a lot of guys who do that for hip hop stuff now. Like I work with a lot of people who are just creating hip hop demos and like that's awesome. For me, it's really about the emotion of a song. It's like if a lyric or like my whole thing is texture. So like it's kind of like psychotic, but I equate it to like you know what synesthesia is? People go all crazy with this when they associate colors with sound.
Yeah,
I'm not synesthetic at all. I associate color with sound in a different way. I'm not synesthetic at all, but I associate texture with emotion. So like in the same way that like nails rubbing on a desk makes a certain sound, I associate a guitar with like a certain quality of a song, or I associate a piano with a certain quality of song, and that's what inspires me. So like if I hear like a certain noise or a certain tone of a certain instrument, then I'll get that emotion. So it's more about the texture of an instrument rather than what that actual instrument is.
Has
That
that
is
been?
sick.
Has
That
that
is
been?
like I've heard like Kanye, Pharrell having that color thing, but I've
Yeah.
never heard of this. This is
A lot of people kind of go crazy about it, and I don't think it's an advantage. I've watched a ton of interviews on it, on this whole synesthesia thing. I don't know if you ever looked into that, but it's
A little bit. It freaks me out.
I know
It
it's
does.
wild. Like
Yeah.
a lot of really talented people have it, but apparently they're just like, yo, it's just that it doesn't give me any advantage. It's just that I associate brown with 400 hertz. Like it's not like it
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything.
Did you develop that, or was that something that you had felt since you started producing?
Since I started, I think it wasn't something that like I had to work at. Like it was just like that's what I feel. And the strange thing now, and I think we could both say this is that emotionally we're like more invested into like the realness of a song rather than just creating content.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like we could create all the time. We were always writing. There was always something to write about. And now we're like, all right, let's make sure this story is something that's like concrete in our lives, means something,
Authentic.
yeah, very, very real. And we're more about the quality rather than the quantity now. We want to be inspired when we're writing. We want to be inspired by something. It's the same thing with production too.
That's what it's all about.